Hello and welcome to the yet another session of the Important Site series. So, this is the sixth session, or this is the sixth class of the Important Site series by the Shikara Academy. In this series, we will be discussing all the important sites, mainly the environmental sites, the cultural heritage sites that are important for the examination point of view. It is important for both UPSC as well as the State Public Service Commission examinations. So in this sixth session, we will be discussing today all the important sites that are located in the state of Odisha. Till now, we have discussed the important sites in the five southern states, that is, the important sites in the state of Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, and now it is Odisha. Now, when we see that the environmental important sites, they include the tiger reserves, the elephant reserves, biosphere reserves, the Ramsar wetland sites, the World Heritage Sites, the Biodiversity Heritage Sites, marine protected areas, national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, conservation reserves, as well as the community reserves. Some of them, the national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, conservation reserve, community reserve, these are protected under the Wildlife Protection Act. The biodiversity heritage sites are declared under the Biological Diversity Act, and the World Heritage Sites, they include the natural sites, the cultural sites, as well as the mixed sites, that is both cultural and natural. Now, starting our discussion on the important sites in Odisha, first we have biosphere reserves. So, Odisha has this Simlipal Biosphere Reserve. This entire biosphere reserve lies in the state border of Odisha only. So, this Simlipal Biosphere Reserve, a very important biosphere reserve, it is situated in the Mayurbhang district of Odisha and is part of the Eastern Ghats. So, till now, like in the previous three sessions, when we were discussing the important sites in Tamil Nadu, in Kerala, and Karnataka, we were discussing about the uh, geographic region of the Western Ghats. But now we will be discussing the important sites along the Eastern Ghats. So, this Mayurbhanj district, the Simlipal Biosphere Reserve is part of the Eastern Ghats. It lies on the northern part of Odisha, so it lies somewhere here and close to the Jharkhand border. It was recognized as a biosphere reserve in 1994 and has been included in the UNESCO World Network of Biosphere Reserve, that is UNESCO Man and Biosphere Program in 2009. The geographical features of any of these protected areas, the two very important things that we have to keep in mind are the important lakes or water reservoirs and rivers in that particular region, and also if the any tribal groups are inhabiting in that particular region. The geographical features include, so it has a terrain of rolling hills, plateaus, and valleys. The major rivers includes the Bodh River, that is, this Bodh rivers ultimately drains in Bay of Bengal. We have Salanidhi River, that is a tributary of Baitarani River, and the Baitarani rivers ultimately drains into the Bay of Bengal. The Salanidhi River, the Palpala River, the waterfalls, the important waterfalls include the Baheripani waterfalls and the Joranda waterfalls. The highest peak is the Khairi Buru. How do you like it's a pronunciation? Please do not mind. So, because of the language constraints, the pronunciation might be differing, but it is purely intentional. So, apologies for that if any of the words are mispronounced. Okay, the highest peak is the Khairi Buru, which is in the Eastern Ghats. Now, the type of vegetation in the Eastern Ghats, we know that Eastern Ghats, they have the tropical moist deciduous type of vegetation, and it is rich in natural grasslands and the meadows. The dominant species include the sal tree, the tree of sal. Other includes the mahua, the bamboo, and the mango chamun, also rich in medicinal plants and the orchid species. The important fauna in this part of the Biosphere Reserve, the mammals include the Royal Bengal tiger, the Indian elephant, the leopard, gaur, sambar, fawn, holt, antelope, wild dog, and sloth bear. The birds includes the hill myna, the crested serpent eagle, and the Indian pied hornbill. The reptiles, most importantly, include the mugger crocodile is found in the Simlipal Biosphere Reserve and king cobra along with the Indian python. The significance is that it is part of the Project Tiger. So we have the Simlipal Tiger Reserve as well as it is also a part of the Project Elephant. Conversely, we also have the Mayurbhanj Elephant Reserve in this, which is a part of the Simlipal Biosphere Reserve. It serves as a transitional zone between the peninsular and the sub-Himalayan species. It is inhabited by various tribal groups. So tribal groups is very important. That is the Ho tribal group, the Munda group, the Santhals, and the Bhumija tribal groups. It acts as a genetic repository for the sal tree and other medicinal flora or the medicinal plants. And it is critical for tiger conservation in the eastern in India as well as the elephant conservation. Now, after the Biosphere Reserve, we discuss the important national park in the state of Odisha. We have the Bhitarkanika National Park. So we have the Simlipal National Park, which is included in the Simlipal Biosphere Reserve. Secondly, we have the Bhitarkanika National Park. That is, it is located in the Kendrapada district of Odisha. It is situated near coast. It lies on the delta region that is formed by the Brahmani, Baitarani, Dharma, and Patsala rivers. So it is in this delta region this Bhitarkanika National Park is located. It was declared a national park in 1998 and formed the core area of the Bhitarkanika Wildlife Sanctuary, which was established in the year 1975. So this Bhitarkanika Wildlife Sanctuary and the Bhitarkanika National Park, many of the area it overlaps. The geographical features include 145 square kilometer of the national park and the larger 672 square kilometer is the wildlife sanctuary. So it so happens is that if the national park and the wildlife sanctuaries both are declared, so the national park it forms the core region or the central region of the larger wildlife sanctuary. So the wildlife sanctuary is larger in area, and in that wildlife sanctuary we have a relatively smaller area that acts as the core of that particular wildlife sanctuary, and it is designated as the national parks. It is composed of estuaries, creeks, mudflats because it lies in the delta region, and the mangrove forest. And it drains this entire Bhitarkanika National Park. It drains into all these rivers, the Brahmani, Baitarani rivers, all these drains into the Bay of Bengal. It includes the Gahirmatha Marine Sanctuary, which is important for olive ridley turtle nesting. So this Gahirmatha Marine Sanctuary is also included in the Bhitarkanika National Park, and it is famous for the Aribada, that is the olive ridley mass nesting site. It is a mass nesting site for the olive ridley turtles. These olive ridley turtles are vulnerable and are the most abundant turtles in the world. Discussing the type of vegetation. So it is located in the coastal region. That is why it is dominated by the mangrove forest, and it is the second largest mangrove ecosystem after Sundarbans. So in India, the largest mangrove ecosystem is in Sundarbans, and the second largest mangrove ecosystem is in the Bhitarkanika National Park. The tropical moist deciduous forest and wetland vegetation is also found, and it has rich salt tolerant plant species, and over 70 species of mangroves are found here. The reptiles, the world's largest population of the saltwater crocodiles. Saltwater crocodiles are the largest crocodiles that are found in India. We have three types of crocodilian species that are found in India. That is the mother crocodile, which we have seen that is found in the Simlipal Biosphere Reserve. Then we have the gharials, which are found in the Chambal region. Then we have the saltwater crocodiles, which are located in this Bhitarkanika National Park. And Bhitarkanika National Park houses the highest population of these saltwater crocodiles in India. It also includes the Indian python, monitor lizards. The mammals include the spotted deer, wild boar, fishing cat, and leopard cat. And it has over 200 species of birds, including the black ibis, the Asian open stork, the herons, and the migratory birds. So it is also an important site for migratory birds. The marine fauna includes, so it is famous for the olive ridley turtles. They rest in the Gahirmatha coast, and also dolphins and mudskippers are also found. The significance is that this entire region is also has also been recognized as a Ramsar site under the Ramsar Convention as a wetland of international importance. It is important for the crocodile reservation, and it supports the coastal biodiversity and acts as a buffer against the cyclones and the tidal surges because of the presence of large number of mangroves. It provides livelihood through ecotourism, fisheries, and mangrove forest products, and a breeding ground for several marine and estuarine species. And most importantly, is the olive ridley turtle nesting site. Moving on to the tiger reserves. So in Odisha we have the Satkosia Tiger Reserve. We have Simlipal Tiger Reserve, which is overlapping or which is included in the Simlipal Biosphere Reserve. Other than that, we have the Satkosia Tiger Reserve. It is located in the Angul, Nayagarh, Baudh, and Cuttack districts of Odisha. It lies in the Eastern Ghats region and declared a tiger reserve in 2017 by combining the Satkosia Gorge Wildlife Sanctuary and the Baisipalli Wildlife Sanctuary. So these two wildlife sanctuary, that is Satkosia Gorge Wildlife Sanctuary and Baisipalli Wildlife Sanctuary, were merged, and they were combined, and the resulting entity became the tiger reserve, was declared a tiger reserve in 2007. That is the Satkosia Tiger Reserve. The geographical features here include an area of around 1000 square kilometer, and it is located along the 28 kilometer long gorge of the Mahanadi River. Okay, and this is the Mahanadi River is making this Satkosia Gorge, and the name of this tiger reserve is derived from that gorge, the Satkosia Gorge. The terrain includes the hills, plateaus, the riverine plains, and deep valleys. The type of vegetation, it primarily includes the tropical moist deciduous forest, also includes the dry deciduous and riverine forest patches. The important tree species are the sal, the teak, terminalia, bamboo, and variety of medicinal plants. The important fauna includes the leopards, elephant, wild dog, sloth bear, sambar, barking deer, and chausinga, that is four-horned antelope. The reptiles include the mugger crocodile, the ghadials in the Mahanadi, and the king cobra. So, Odisha is a state which has all these three crocodilian species. That is, it houses muggers, it houses the ghadials, and as well as it houses the saltwater crocodiles. It is there is rich diversity in fishes because of the Mahanadi River ecosystem. Now, the significance is that it is a critical tiger habitat, okay, and the Satkosia Gorge is the meeting point of the Deccan Peninsula and the Eastern Ghats, resulting in high biodiversity. So, the Satkosia Gorge, which is formed on the Mahanadi River which is formed by the Mahanadi River, it is a meeting point between the Deccan Peninsula in south and the Eastern Ghats in the east. So therefore, it is very rich in biodiversity. It is housing both the biodiversity of the it acts as a transition point between the biodiversity of both the Deccan Peninsula as well as the Eastern Ghats. The Mahanadi River ecosystem supports the diverse aquatic life. It is proposed as a gharial breeding and conservation site because the gharials are found in the Mahanadi. Moving on to discussing the elephant reserve. So we have this important elephant reserve, that is the Mayurbhanj Elephant Reserve in Odisha. It is situated in the Mayurbhanj district and forms part of the Northern Eastern Ghats and adjacent to the Simlipal Biosphere Reserve. So the Simlipal Biosphere Reserve is also located in the Mayurbhanj district, and this Mayurbhanj Elephant Sanctuary is also in the Mayurbhanj district. It was declared an elephant reserve in 2001 under the project Elephant. It encompasses the Simlipal Tiger Reserve, the Hadgad Wildlife Sanctuary, and the Kuldiha Wildlife Sanctuary. It is drained by the rivers such as Budabalanga, the Kheri River, and the Betrani River. Budabalanga, we know, falls into the Bay of Bengal. The rivers are very important. The Kheri River, it is a tributary of the Subarna Rekha River. The Subarna Rekha ultimately drains into the Bay of Bengal. And then we have the Betrani River. Betrani River also flows into the Bay of Bengal. The type of vegetation includes the tropical moist deciduous forest. It includes the dominant tree species includes the sal, as was the case of the Biosphere Reserve, the Simlipal Biosphere Reserve. The other species include the bamboo, the mahua, terminalia, and over 1,000 plant species are recorded. The elephant is the key species, or I would say the flagship species, and is part of the Mahanadi Elephant Reserve population. The mammals include the tigers, the leopards, sambar, gaur, wild bear, sloth bear, and chausinga, that is the four-horned antelopes. The birds include the peafowls, the crested serpent eagle. The reptiles it has are the Indian pythons, monitor lizards, and the king cobra. The significance is that it is one of the largest elephant reserves in India, and it provides a vital corridor for the elephant population, for the elephant movement between Odisha and Jharkhand. So it lies on the border of Odisha and Jharkhand. So here is Jharkhand and here is Odisha. So the elephant population, it has to migrate between these two states, and it provides a perfect corridor for the population of elephants to move from between the two states. It helps to mitigate the human animal elephant conflict by providing a safe corridor between for the movement of population. So it effectively helps to reduce or to mitigate the human elephant conflict. It is ecologically linked to the Simlipal Biosphere Reserve and is important for the eco development, tribal livelihood, and the forest protection. These are the ecosystem services that are provided by the Mayurbhanj Elephant Reserve. Now discussing the next elephant reserve, that is the Mahanadi Elephant Reserve. It is located in central Odisha, covering part of the Angul, the Anjul, the Dhenkanal, the Cuttack, and Sambalpur, both districts of Odisha. It was declared as an elephant reserve in 2002 under Project Elephant, and it lies in the Mahanadi River basin, and it has got its name from the river Mahanadi itself. It encompasses the Satkosia Wildlife Sanctuary, the Pilas Wildlife Sanctuary, and the adjoining forest divisions, and it is characterized by undulating hills, valleys, and riverine landscape because of the Mahanadi. The major river is the Mahanadi, and including its tributaries, and we all know that the Mahanadi, it drains into the Bay of Bengal. The type of vegetation, it has a tropical moist deciduous species they dominate. The dominant species is the sal. The other species include the terminalia, the mahua, the bamboo, and other medicinal herbs. The important fauna includes the elephants, which is the major flagship species here, and it is a major stronghold for the central Indian elephant population. The mammals includes the leopards, sloth bear, wild dog, sambar, chital, and barking deer. The birds, the avian biodiversity includes the hill manna, the serpent eagle, the hornbills, and Indian peafowl. The reptiles, so mugger crocodiles are found, king cobra is found, and monitor lizards are there. Now, it is also one of the largest elephant reserves in India. So, both the Mayurbhanj Elephant Reserve and the Mahanadi Elephant Reserve are among the largest elephant reserves in the country. It is critical for the elephant conservation and corridor connectivity across Odisha. It serves as an ecological buffer to the Satkosia Tiger Reserve. So it lies adjacent to the Satkosia Tiger Reserve. And Satkosia Tiger Reserve, we also know that it also lies on the Satkosia Gorge, which is formed by the Mahanadi River. So both the Satkosia Tiger Reserve and the Mahanadi Tiger Reserve, the important geographical feature is the Mahanadi River. It plays a key role in mitigating human-elephant conflict and protecting the habitat continuity, and provides for a watershed conservation in the Mahanadi Basin. Now discussing the third biosphere reserve or the third elephant reserve, that is the Sambalpur Elephant Reserve. The Sambalpur Elephant Reserve is located in the western side of Odisha. It is located in western Odisha in the Sambalpur district, and it was declared as an elephant reserve in 2002 under the project Elephant and lies in the Mahanadi elephant landscape. So this Mahanadi flows through like this, and we have the Mahanadi Elephant Reserve here and this Sambalpur Elephant Reserve here. So all these elephant population lies nearby the Mahanadi River or in the Mahanadi Basin. So it encompasses forest divisions like Sambalpur North, Sambalpur South, and the Jharsuguda. It it is drained by the Mahanadi River. So the important river here is also the Mahanadi River and its tributaries. So Mahanadi River's tributaries like the Ib River and the Bedan River. The landscape here is the hilly landscape, plateaus, and riverine belts. The type of vegetation is it is dominated by the tropical dry deciduous forest, and the important tree species is the sal, is the dominant species of tree. Other species include the terminalia, the bamboo, and several botanical, and the medical plants. It is an elephant reserve, so the flagship species will be elephants. And the other important mammals includes the leopards, the sloth bear, the wild boar, the sambar, and barking deer. Okay. Now, the significance of the Sambalpur Elephant Reserve, that is, it is vital for elephant migration corridors and conflict mitigation in the western Odisha. So, it provides a corridor. So, this Mahanadi Elephant Reserve is located on the eastern side of Odisha, and the Sambalpur Elephant Reserve lies on the western side of Odisha, and the Mayurbhanj Elephant Reserve lies on the northern side of Odisha. So all these elephant reserves, they provide a very proper migratory corridor for the elephant population to move across the state of Odisha. It is part of the larger Mahanadi elephant landscape contributing. So all these three, the Mayurbhanj Elephant Reserve, the Sambalpur Elephant Reserve, as well as the Mahanadi Elephant Reserve, all these three form the part of the Mahanadi elephant landscape, the larger Mahanadi elephant landscape, contributing to the genetic flow and habitat connectivity. It is important for the tribal livelihoods and the forest-based economy. It faces pressures from the mining, human settlement, and linear infrastructure. Now, after discussing the important environmental sites, the protected areas, including biosphere reserves, the tiger reserves, the national parks, and the elephant reserves. Now we discuss the important heritage sites that are in the state of Odisha. So the heritage sites can include the natural heritage site, the cultural heritage site, as well as the both these natural heritage sites and the cultural heritage sites are recognized by the UNESCO, and along with that, we also have the biodiversity heritage sites, which are declared, which are recognized under the Biological Diversity Act of 2002. So now let's discuss the heritage sites that are in the state of Odisha. That is the Sun Temple Konark. So it is the cultural heritage site. The Sun Temple at Konark is located between the eastern shores of Indian subcontinent. Is one of the outstanding examples of temple architecture, and it is on the shores of Bay of Bengal. It is bathed by the rays of the rising sun. The temple at Konark is monumental representation of the sun god Surya's chariot. So it has got its name from the depiction of the sun gods or the Surya Dev's chariot, on which it is believed that the Lord Sun rides, and its 24 wheels are decorated with the symbolic designs, and it is led by a team of 6 horses. So this entire chariot, it has 24 wheels and is pulled up by the 6 horses. So that is the basic theme of the Sun Temple Konark. It is dedicated to the sun god. Okay. It was built in the 13th century and is one of India's most famous Brahman sanctuaries. Now, after the heritage site, the cultural heritage site, there are 6 Ramsar wetland sites that are in the state of Odisha. That is the Chilika Lake, the Bhitarkanika mangroves, the Ansupa Lake, the Satkosia Gorge, the Hirakud Reservoir, and the Thampara Lake. The Chilika Lake we know is the largest lake in India. It is the largest brackish water lagoon in India. Chilika Lake. So we have to know. So in India we have more than 75 Ramsar sites now. So it becomes very difficult for us to remember or note down all these um, Ramsar sites. So it is important to make a note of all the important ones, the important Ramsar sites, and the type of water body that it has. Okay, so Ramsar sites are essentially the wetlands. Those wetlands have a different type of wetlands, the water body. So the Chilika Lake is a brackish water lagoon. The Bhitarkanika mangroves, so we have seen in the case of Bhitarkanika National Park as well. So it has an estuarine and mangrove wetland. Then there is Ansupa Lake. It is a freshwater oxbow lake. Then we have the Satkosia Gorge. As we have seen, it is a riverine gorge and is made by the Mahanadi River. So it is a riverine gorge made by the Mahanadi River. Therefore, it is also freshwater. Then we have Hirakud Reservoir. Hirakud is a large dam that is on. It is because of the Hirakud Dam on Mahanadi River. So it is an artificial freshwater reservoir. And then we have the Tampara Lake, that is the also a freshwater lake. Now discussing the important biodiversity heritage sites. So we have the Gandharmardhan Hills, Gandhamardhan Hill Biodiversity Heritage Site. So it is situated in the Bargarh and the Balangir districts in western Odisha. And it is notified as Odisha's third biodiversity heritage site in 2023. Okay. Along with so Odisha has in total three biodiversity heritage site, and it is the latest biodiversity heritage site of Odisha, Gandhamardhan Hill Biodiversity Heritage Site. It is part of the Gandhamardhan Hill range. It covering the forest tract on both the district, that is the Bargarh district and the Balangir district. The terrain includes the rolling hills, the foothills with excellent drainage. It features two major pilgrimage temples, that is the Nursinghgarh temple and the Hari Shankar temple. The uh, Nursingnath temple, the Nursingnath temple as well as the Harishankar temple. Nursingnath temple as well as the Harishankar temple both are historically and culturally significant. The ecology historically protected by the local communities, particularly during 1980s protest against the proposed bauxite mining. So Odisha we know is the largest producer of bauxite in the country. Around 50% of the bauxite production or the bauxite ore is extracted from the state of Odisha. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, there was a proposed bauxite mining in this Gandharmardhan Hill area, but because this was a site of the important pilgrimage temples, that is the Nursingnath temple as well as the Harishankar temple, the local communities they protested, and it is now declared a biodiversity heritage site. The type of vegetation that it is remarkable richness is in the medicinal and herbal plant species and earning the title of the Ayurvedic paradise of Odisha. So this Gandhamardhan Hill Biodiversity Heritage Site is the Ayurvedic paradise of Odisha. So it has hosted it hosted species include both the rare and the threatened varieties, and it contains at least one endemic plant species, that is the Ficus consina. The fauna includes the mammal, includes the common species that are found in the Eastern Ghats forest, including the leopards, the elephants, etc., the sloth. The birds includes it range from forest birds to raptors. It has many reptiles, amphibians, as well as butterfly populations. The significance is that it is recognized for its high floristic diversity, especially the medicinal and herbal species. So, high diversity of plants. It has high diversity of plants. It supports rich fauna diversity, cultural significance because of the two temples that we have seen, protected long term due to people's resistance against mining, ensuring conservation of the site's rich biodiversity. It acts as Odisha's key ecological hotspot requiring preservation under the Biodiversity Heritage Site framework, which is under the Biological Diversity Act of 2002. Moving on to the second biodiversity heritage site, that is the Mahendragiri Hill Biodiversity Heritage Site. It is located in the Gajapati district of southern Odisha within the Eastern Ghats. It was declared a biodiversity heritage site in 2002. It is Odisha's second biodiversity heritage site after the Mandasaru Gorge. The elevation is around 1000 to 1500 meters because it is situated on the Eastern Ghats, and it features the hills such as the Mahendragiri Hill, the Singaraj Hill, and the Devagiri Hill. So these three are the prominent hills of the Eastern Ghats. These are uh, present in the Mahendragiri Hill Biodiversity Heritage Site. So this entire Biodiversity Heritage Site has got its name from the Mahendragiri Hill, which is the tallest peak in the Eastern Ghats. It functions as an ecological estuary transitioning between the Western Ghats and the Himalayan biogeographic zones. The diverse terrain includes the Shola-like patches and the moist and dry deciduous zone. Shola-like patches means the mountainous patches of mountainous vegetation patches. The type of vegetation includes the high altitude dry evergreen Shola forest, and it is home to nearly 40% of Odisha's higher plant species. It also includes the orchid species, the threatened species of Odisha, and the fauna includes the mammals, the birds, the herpetofauna, including the snakes, amphibians, turtles, the butterfly species. It is noted for the rare and endemic species like the golden geckos and the unique amphibians. It was established under Section 37 of the Biodiversity Act, that is the Biological Diversity Act of 2002, for the long-term conservation of its unique biome. It acts as a genetic corridor between both Himalayan and the peninsular biota. That is, it is a genetic corridor between the Himalayan biodiversity as well as the peninsular biodiversity, with a strong climatic and ecological regulation over the southern Odisha and adjacent Andhra Pradesh region. It hosts indigenous tribes, so the important tribal groups such as the Sora and the Kond tribal groups, whose traditional knowledge enriches the biodiversity value. It contains several ancient temples such as the Kunti temple, the Bhima temple, making it culturally and archaeologically important as well. Now, the next biodiversity heritage site, which is indeed the first uh, biodiversity heritage site of Odisha, that is the Mandasaru Biodiversity Heritage Site. It is located in the Fulbani, Kandhamal district of Odisha, declared as first biodiversity heritage site of the state in 2019. It is spread approximately 528 hectares, that is 5.28 square kilometer. It is a deep gorge ecosystem, often referred to as the Silent Valley of Odisha. So we know that Silent Valley National Park is in Kerala, and this Mandasaru Biodiversity Heritage Site is known as the Silent Valley of Odisha. It lies within the Shivakonda Amabara Hill Range with steep rock walls flanking a riparian valley. It encompasses a 15-kilometer stretch of hills, six waterfalls, and the rivers, that is Naputhima stream feeding the Rishikulya River. So this is the important river. The Rishikulya River is associated with the Mandasaru Biodiversity Heritage Site. The altitude variation creates the microclimatic zones. The type of vegetation includes the tropical semi-evergreen forest, the moist deciduous forest, and the dry deciduous forest in the plateau. It has around it is rich in plant species as well as the medicinal plants as well as the threatened species. The mammals include the fishing cat, the small clawed otter, the civets, the deers. The birds include, it has around 150 species of birds, many insect species, and the species of fungus. That all this is making this, all this floral biodiversity and the flora and fauna biodiversity is making it a biodiversity heritage site. The significance is that it represents a unique gorge ecosystem in the Eastern Ghats. It has high species richness, high endemism, as well as the medicinal plant diversity. It functions as a wildlife corridor, providing essential ecosystem services to the local tribal people. It is also declared under Section 37 of the Biological Diversity Act, that is the Biodiversity Act of 2002, reflecting the biological, cultural, and the livelihood significance. It is managed locally via the biodiversity management committees and people's biodiversity registers, empowering the community conservation. So, these were all the important environmental sites and the cultural sites that are located in this state of Odisha. We'll be continuing with this series. In the next session, we will be discussing the important sites or these important sites in the state of West Bengal. Till then, thank you so much.